Hey, how's it going? Today is 23rd of December, Monday. It's a new week. We're gonna be taking a look at some of the government's press releases and everything, what's happening, right? Then it comes to some of these opportunities, and I haven't read any of these articles. It should be very important information, I would say. Let's read it together and let's try to understand everything what's happening, right? When it comes to perhaps grocery prices and everything what's happening currently within the UK, then with inflation, all those kind of things, and the price is increasing, right? But it's happening everywhere, and some places it can go up by 9.7, 9.3%. But let's reflect on business, perhaps business opportunities, right? That would be new protections for British food and all drinks in Japan. Okay, perhaps Japan is massive manufacturing market, and they're interested in importing food. Perhaps Japan is not that interested in food, and or don't have enough land to produce food. So Japan is focusing on perhaps high-end manufacturing and all other industries, right? Like cars, all this kind of thing. So food, when it comes to perhaps there is an open market, and if not UK, other governments are perhaps Russia, perhaps China is taking a look at Japan's market when it comes to food. So perhaps we can take a look at what UK can do. Right? UK secures a special protected status of geographical indications for future 39 British foods and or drinks products in Japan. Okay, sure. Sure, I haven't read it, by the way. Let's read it. Let's try to understand what's happening, right? Just quick reflection on where we are on the calendar. We have finished week 173. Overall, was a great week. I have managed to accomplish a lot of things when it comes to marketing and all. Overall, work on how much ground we have covered. We progress into week 174. Every second day, we're gonna be taking a look at marketing and all the reflecting on some of the strategies that we are currently adopting. And we're going to be closing this week while taking a look at some of the government's contracts. There's going to be Christmas around somewhere around 24th, progression to 25, right? Diners in Japan will be tucking into authentic UK products with festive period after the country is granted special protection status to nearly 40 British food and or drink products. Festive favorites such as single. I don't know. It might be some of those drinks. I don't know if we can promote. There's a lot of good products. There's a lot of cheeses. There's a lot of all kind of products. But let's do not go too much in detail. But anyway, since we're taking a look at perhaps festive season, when it comes to products, some orders can go in. Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and sometimes it can go into millions, by the way. So, which perhaps important to highlight. Myself, I was taking a look at Taiwan and Lithuania. Then Taiwan made massive orders for Lithuania to send a lot of food and all kind of drinks to Taiwan. So it was massive in millions, tens of millions orders. So there's a potential there. That's what I'm saying, right? The news that has been welcomed as an early Christmas present by food and no drink business across the UK and all. And could see boost for British exports in Japan. Perhaps there's a lot of potential, but not necessarily just in Japan, but there's a massive potential there. Japan's population of 124 million has a strong appetite for international food and no drinks, and all countries' status as the world's fourth largest economy in 2003 highlighted traits of its customer market and all consumer commercial opportunities for premium British products. As I mentioned, perhaps when it comes to professionals, they're spending their time focusing on very expensive products, right? So how they evaluating the market and where they're spending their time. Well, food is sometimes it could be relatively cheap products, right? Compared so some people do not focus on food at all. It's kind of interesting approach to that. Some of the people will adapt, but anyway. 39 distinctive products from England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland already protected and all celebrated by the UK's government as a geopolitical indicators, have formally gained protection following the completion of the Japan security process. Okay, sure. Okay, let's close. Let's close this article. Hopefully, in the future, we can do more business with Japan, right? We will see. We will see coffee. Some of the drinks, myself, I will be very, very interested. But we will see what the future will bring. Let's close this press release and progress to the next one. Let's take a look at the next press release. That would be 85 local treasures to be saved and restored. That would be an additional 36 million of funding to rescue and restore 85 local treasures, including community centers, pubs, parks, and all sports centers. Okay, I haven't read this article. Perhaps briefly we can take a look at it. That the government's funding will save the last 35 community centers. It also fix foundations of the communities as a part of the plan for change, as well as money will boost opportunities and will help grow the local economy, supporting the government's drive for national renewal. Perhaps all these places that we are talking about, perhaps they should consider have better management. Management that would be how they could generate their own finances. That was it. But again, who wants to see perhaps some of the parks would be named under some of the company's name, right? Or grocery store's name. But anyway, that would be how we, not necessarily as the taxpayers, would be subsidizing some of those projects. But anyway, this will help kickstart economic growth and rebuild Britain in a decade of renewal. Briefly, we can take a look at this article. It might be important, but we're going to be progressing to the next one in just a second. I'll skip name. Community center are among the 89 local venues across the UK that are to receive government support to stay open, helping to fix the foundations of the economy. Additional 36 million of funding has been provided to back local communities, including the rescue of the last 35 community centers, protecting vital local services, boosting opportunities for working families, and supporting local economies. As set out in the plan for change, the government is committed to kickstart economic growth and raising living standards. Thriving communities lie at the heart of thriving economy, and the support provides community ownership fund. Sure. Okay. I don't know. We'll inject funding where it's most needed, making a change happen and bringing people together in the process. The projects will support the government's on its path for national renewal, helping raise our region's huge potential by creating safe and more happy streets by restoring community pride. Okay, great. Let's progress. Let's take a look at the next article. Let's take a look at the next article. That will be local treasures in Wales to be saved and restored. That will be over 2 million will be awarded to 7 local treasures in Wales, including community centers, music venues, and leisure centers. Sure. We were taking a look at, I don't want to mix this conversation, but we were taking a look at perhaps how, if those projects not necessarily would be profitable, sometimes it could be taken over by MOD or Military of Defense. So I don't know if that's alternative. So now it's community owned, or it could be Military of Defense owned. So I don't know what's better. Perhaps there should be a process how business owned. I don't know, would that be alternative? I don't know. But anyway, when it comes to Wales, over 2 million will be awarded to 7 local treasures in Wales, including community centres, music venues, and all leisure centres. Sure, 7 local treasures in Wales, including community centres, music venues, and all leisure centres, will be saved and restored thanks to prioritized funding from UK's government. UK government funding will be protected local amenities that keep government striving, help and fix the foundation of our communities as a part of a plan for change, which will help kickstart economic growth and rebuild Britain in decades of renewal. Okay. So more projects, right? Sports centers, I mean, I would agree with those, but I mean, it's important as well. But anyway, creative industry, right? Let's progress and let's take a look at the next article. Let's take a look at something that might be very excited, right? kind of project, right? The British soldier successfully tests drone killer radio wave weapon for first time. British soldiers have successfully trialed for the first time a game-changing weapon that can take down swarms of drones using radio waves for less than the cost of a pack of mince pies. Okay. Sure. Compared to rockets, then sometimes it could cost close to a million euros, dollars, pounds, right? So if that's comparison, let's compare it to a mince pies, right? Price. Radio frequent directed energy weapon. Sure. I don't know. By the way, I'm just reading this information. I don't know if it's accurate. I don't know if it's been tested, if it's projection. If most of the time, people are just messing around. If they actually have any kind of so-called weapons, why would you promote that? Why would you say that with something that we have? So just what I'm saying is sometimes people are just messing around. Can take down the swarms of drones to less than the cost of a pack of mince pies. Systems are capable of hitting targets up to 1 kilometer away would cost about 10p per shot. The program supports more than 135 high-skilled jobs across the UK industry. British soldiers have successfully trailed for the first time a game-changing weapon that can take down swarms of drones using radio waves for less. Okay, sure. It's great. I guess we are promoting British, and everyone's thinking about food because it's festive season. It's great. Cornish pies. I love those. I'm promoting something, right? The freaking radio freaking direct energy weapons. Things are getting crazy. No one's working, by the way. This is what we're discussing: food. Development systems can detect, track, and engage range of threats across land and sea. I don't know. There isn't a way to reach out to any of these teams, but if they actually completed some of these projects on, if it's a massive system that has many moving parts, and it might be a system, entire battery might be made out of perhaps 5 pieces. If there are people or 135 people working on one piece of the equipment and they're actually progressing with the project, not necessarily that these kind of things would be discussed publicly, but we are happy to see that Ministry of Defense, MOD, is working on some of those projects when it comes to defense. Let's take a look at that last article, right? Let's take a look at, let's close this article. That might be something to, like an exercise, quote unquote, right? This is our business floor space. So if you yourself, you have a business and you have physical location, perhaps how to best use floor space. And if you are renting floor space, how much you're paying for 1 meter. If 1 meter of floor space is been rented for €2, let's say it's US, it's $8 usually for 1 square meter, let's just say, it depending on location, right? In UK it could be £4, let's say, for 1 meter, right? How would you be able to optimize 1 meter and how much cash flow 1 meter should give you so you could run business profitably, including other expenses, right? Perhaps some of the statistics that we are taking a look at. We are asking for your views on how to share some of the statistics. Okay, so we can perhaps break it down and express our interest in taking part in this consultation. Evaluation of office agency and asking for views on plans of change or statistics we publish about the business floor space. We need your feedback to ensure that the statistics produced continues to meet the need of our users. So there are so much work that's been completed by some of the fashion brands in Spain. So perhaps a lot of ladies are taking a look at some of those fashion brands, and there's a lot of work being done there. And it has been breaking down to such a great level, right? But perhaps it's not only statistics that we can take a look at. Perhaps there's other businesses, not necessarily just fashion, that might be able to break it down and or share some of the statistics, how well some of the business can operate and how these kind of things can be assessed, right? But anyway, there are two options for how we measure business floor space. Tell us which are the best, meet our needs, and why. If we change our method, will this cause a problem for you? To welcome continuous from all users. This includes experienced users of VOD statistics and anyone looking to use these statistics for the first time. We have until 13th of January 2025 to complete this survey. If you're self-interested, perhaps you can engage with the team and we'll complete this survey. Let's close on that. Thanks for watching. See you next one.